Hello, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome to Taboo Chronicles podcast. We're in for a treat today. I am Nisha, the social advocate, and we have a special guest today. I will let Crystal go ahead and introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Crystal. I am a boutique owner, and my mission in my business is to help women feel comfortable and confident in their clothing.
Wonderful.
Ooh,
So happy to have you today, Crystal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No
I
problem.
love that. And I'm Roberta, the tool lady, and I'm so happy to be here tonight, especially to talk about womanhood, especially with Nisha, the social advocate. She has so many strong points about being a woman today, and so many things that I've learned from her, even about being the feminism movement that she intrigued me to just think about. And then I'm very much thankful that Crystal has joined us. And I didn't know that one part about her mission was that women do feel good in their clothes. Because I have watched a lot of your reels on TikTok, and I do love them. I had text Nisha and I said she is funny though. That's what I told her. I said she is
Yeah,
funny.
she did.
She's funny though. And
Oh,
so I am just so glad you decided to join us tonight. So welcome.
thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, Nisha.
So, as Roberta was saying, tonight's conversation is going to be about womanhood. So, I figured the way that I would start out would be kind of like with a vague question, and just talk about
Mhm.
a sense of what womanhood means to us individually, because it's, as Roberta was saying, it's different for every person. So, for me, I guess I'll go first. Womanhood for me is feeling like a woman.
Okay.
um, and I know that's hard to explain, but womanhood for me is a big part of it for me is to be soft. That's how I feel most like a woman is when I can relax, I feel safe, I feel secure in whatever setting it is or with whatever person I'm with. And I'm just comfortable in being me. A big part is protection for me in my womanhood. Because I feel like once I'm protected and once I feel safe, I can be vulnerable. Because for me, womanhood is also a sense of being vulnerable. I know that was kind of vague, but I gave it a shot. How about you, Crystal?
I would say for me, confidence. Like, confidence is so important for women. I feel like if you're confident, you can do anything you want, you can have anything you want. And I feel like that is probably one of my biggest my biggest feels about being a woman. Like, be confident in who you are,
Yeah,
regardless of your shape, your size, your education, your ethnicity. Like, just be who you are and be proud of it and be confident.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. Now, for me, womanhood is much more a lot. It's a lot because it's everything
Yes.
you guys just said and more because we are the creators. You know, once God created us, right? Then here we come and we're the creators. We bring about life. We bring about life to just about everything we touch. And I know people like, okay, Roberta, you always say that, but it's the truth. That's what we do. That's how big our job is as women. We just are always bringing life to things. If it's not a baby, we bringing life to businesses. Here we are, podcast, and we're hoping to bring life to other individuals, other women tonight listening to us. You know, uh, just that you do feel safe and good about yourself.
Well, I'm glad you brought up bringing life, Roberta, because you know what I always say, and I don't know, Crystal, if you're familiar with this, but one thing I've recently learned within the past couple years is that We bring so much life, and the woman's body is so powerful. Our menstrual blood helps fertilize plants. That is amazing to me. Like when I learned that, I was like, okay, nobody tell me nothing about being a woman. You can't tell me nothing. We are a gift from God at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that just blew my mind because I'm in a plant group on Facebook. And a lot of women were talking about it and posted a lot of research and different things. And there were women who actually used their period blood. I mean, it ain't my cup of tea, but they did use their period blood to fertilize their plants. And they said it actually did work. So that was really amazing for me. Um, Another aspect of womanhood I like to talk about is feminism. And for me, a part of feminism is having autonomy over your body. Feminism is not, uh, I want to do everything men can do. It is, I might not be able to do exactly what he can do, but what I can do is might be different from him, but it holds just as much power as a man does. And I have that right to choose whether I want to do these things or not. I should not be forced to live life a certain way because I have a vagina. And with that being said, my mom called me today and she was like, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to look at the news. You need to go get your tubes tied. They have this thing, they're going on with the abortions again. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And I know abortions is a touchy subject. And whether we all agree or believe in abortions or believe that it's right, I think we all are somewhat humanitarians and we feel like it's right for women to do what they feel is best for them. So, from what my mom was explaining to me, come June, they're voting on making it harder for women to get an abortion pill, and also making it harder for them to get it in the mail. So that was disheartening for me because I've expressed my experience with pregnancy here on the podcast a few months ago, and it was a horrible experience. My baby never developed a heartbeat, so I abortion was an option for me because, or not even really abortion, like a DNC at this point because I don't have an alive fetus. The baby is essentially dead. Pregnancy is terminated. But I had a very difficult time getting the help that I needed. I didn't feel like my choice was respected by many doctors. They kept pressuring me to pray about it, which is fine. I'm a Christian woman, but what's happening is happening at this point. God is not blessing me to have a baby right now, and I'm okay with whatever He decides for my life. Um, and like take these pills and try to support this. And for me, that just felt like more emotional and mental torture because now I'm setting my mind to take these pills and I'm hoping that I have this baby. And then what if it doesn't happen? Now I'm even more crushed. So I don't necessarily agree with it. People also say like, oh, well, then just get on birth control. Well, that's not 100% effective, and that has a lot of side effects. Oh, well, use condoms. Those aren't 100% effective either. What are you supposed to do? People get pregnant by using condoms and on birth control every day. Oh, well, then don't have sex. I don't think it's fair that people have to refrain from their God-given right to have sex in a marriage, not in a marriage, whatever, just so that they don't get pregnant and have to go through a lot of issues. So I would love to hear you ladies' opinion on that topic.
Well, I think that's definitely a tough one for us right now, as all of us being women. It's definitely a tough one with social issues because if you have all these children with special needs, or
Mm,
all these children that are in fact being born to families that don't, that really, some people just don't even have that support system to even have children, but you're pushing them into in that situation, just as they did back in the dark eras. Then you're going to have a bunch of outcomes that are dark. I'll say it that way. And it's not fair to use a subject that surrounds women to make your platform. I think that's wrong. I think that's what men have done. Unfortunately, they've used us as a platform and what we can do with our bodies. And I don't think that's right. And it said, someone said also women that are raped, incest and all kind of things, it's and just like Nisha, some women whose babies are not going to be able to be carried that full term, in which the physician already knows is high risk, or either the baby's not going to make it or the baby's going to make it with some severe disabilities. I've had clients in the last 6 7 months, a lot of them, who've had either premature babies, who have significant developmental delays, or going to be issues as they arise as the child gets older. That's kind of not fair. Not even kind. It's not fair. I won't even, um, you know, pretend like it is. Crystal, how about you?
I agree. I feel like the decision should be up to that person. That nobody should be able to tell you what's right or what's wrong. It's your body, it's your life. And honestly, men don't get as much. It takes two people to make that happen, and they don't really see the hard parts of it, and they don't get the backlash of the decisions being made and stuff. It's always based upon the women. So I think that it's up to you. It's your body, it's your choice, it's your life, and, depending on the circumstances, I mean, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
and for me, I'm glad Roberta brought up children with disabilities, because as we all are aware, the medical system is not very financially friendly, right? So it would be, for me, it would be a little different if there were a lot of more resources available, if the cost of living wasn't so high, if people were able to make more money. People are barely getting by right now just without having kids. I don't have kids and I'm barely getting by. Okay. So imagine having a child that has special needs or a disability that causes for equipment or special education or a lot of doctor's visits. And just to have a baby alone in the United States can easily be $10,000. So I feel like if the United States of America took better care of their people, then maybe people might be somewhat okay with this decision. But it's like, okay, you're forcing me to have this baby, and then what? Like I'm just stuck out. You're
Yeah.
not even going to offer me any help. You're not going to create any more systems, any more laws to support me. No more funding is going towards women's health care. I just got to figure it out. That's insane to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Exactly. And on the flip side of that, also, Nisha, some parents don't make it. Not just maybe the baby is at risk, but also the mother is at risk.
Yep.
So there you got a multitude of different things that could happen with that. With a a high risk pregnancy. So I just think it's not good that they share some of the things that have something to do with our body on
Yeah.
their platform. That's not really fair at all. Um, and then use things to hide behind to say why, because it really they're not gonna help with these children. They're not gonna help that with the backwash of it, because it's gonna be a lot of backwash.
And then once these kids are born, they're at risk. So is this really about saving the lives of children, or is this more about controlling women? It's sounding more like it's about controlling women. Because again, if it was really about the children, there would be more resources.
Yep.
Right.
That's just what it boils down to. You would give women and the children being born a lot more resources, a lot more funding, a lot more everything. The community, just when you walk outside, nothing is disability friendly. Nothing. There's stairs everywhere. I mean, you have ramps, but you got to push them up the ramp. You know what I mean? There's a few
Yeah.
handicap parking spots, but once those are gone, then what do you do? So the bathrooms are not friendly for kids, like mothers who have to take their children into the bathrooms who have disabilities. I've seen videos of women having to change their children on the dirty floor because their child is an older child and doesn't fit in the little baby thing. So they're literally like carrying around all these covers and different things just for their child to use the bathroom. So I just feel like
Yeah.
it's just it grinds my gears. And if I could change it on my own, I would, but unfortunately that's not how it works. And what about teen
Mhm.
pregnancy
But
management? getting pregnant at 11, 12. Yeah, I mean, these little girls are at risk too. They have small bodies.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
happens. And let's be honest, kids have sex with kids. They don't know no better. They're
Yeah.
kids. You can get told all day as a child not to have sex, but they're gonna do it. And then
Right.
what? You're stuck with a baby that they don't know nothing about, having a baby, what's going on with their body, anything.
Right.
So sorry for my rant, y'all.
That's
Did
okay.
y'all
I said it. I said she got a lot of strong
I
feminine
do.
ways that
I really
points that
do.
she has. So that's good. Crystal, I wanted to know and ask you just a little bit more about your brand
Okay.
because I think that's amazing. How did you get to wanting to help women feel good in their bodies?
So, basically, I'm gonna kind of make a long story short, but my whole life I've been plus size. I've always struggled with like body positivity, finding like clothing, like especially when I was younger, like finding clothing that was like cool and trendy, like the stuff my friends were wearing and being my size. So that was always like you could never find that, right? So then as I got older, it pretty much was the same thing. And I was like, oh, it's just so hard to find clothing. And if you did, the clothing that you found was like either really expensive or not quite as cute as what your other friend was wearing who was a size small.
Mhm.
So I found this brand of clothing. My cousin had tried it and it was leggings and a shirt first. And she said, "Oh, you have to try this." I go, "Leggings." I go, I'm a size 20. I don't wear leggings. And she's like, "You just have to try it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." So I got it. And I honestly felt that was like the first time in my life that I actually felt good in my skin. Like I felt pretty, I felt comfortable, I felt confident. And I was like, I want other people to feel this way. Like I cannot be the only person in this world that feels like this. Like there's probably so many other women in the world that are just like, oh, I don't feel good in my own skin. And I bought the clothes. I bought clothes from this person for a long time, and I was like, you know what? I need to do this. I feel like I need to do this, and I need to help other people feel this way. And it was about a year after I was buying clothes that I decided I was going to become a retailer, and I was going to open my own boutique, and I was going to carry this line of clothing. And I did that. I was working full time at that point, and I was doing it just part time. And then I was like, I really love what I'm doing. Like, I love the way that I'm making people feel. I love the confidence that I'm bringing to people. I love like just seeing somebody light up when they put something on and they're like, wow, like they never thought they could wear it and they can. And one day I was getting my hair done, and my husband's always been super supportive. And he's like, just quit your job. He's like, imagine what you could do if you were able to do this full time. And I was like, I don't know, like this is really scary. And I put in my 2 week notice and never looked back. I've been doing this now almost 7 years. I've had my boutique, I've
Nice.
expanded it, and now I carry accessories and I have a separate site for that as well. So I feel like I just love it. I love the way that I make people feel. I love what I do. Um, Keisha, it was the greatest feeling ever to have him being so supportive to be like, just do it.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
one.
you can do it. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell, like how it all came about.
Crystal,
That's
where
awesome.
can people purchase your clothing and your accessories or have access to your brand?
Okay, so my website is www.shoptheclubhouse.com or www.shoptheclubhs.co.
Nice.
And
And
then
what
my
sizes do you
oh,
carry?
we carry that's the whole thing too. It's size inclusive clothing. So we carry extra small through 3XL.
Yeah.
All of the styles that we have in extra small are going to be the same styles in 3XL and then same prints as well.
Uh-huh.
We have everything from loungewear to dresses to skirts to pants to leggings to tops to you name it, denim, all the fun stuff.
Do you
That's
have any social media as well?
I do. I'm on Facebook at www.theclubhs.com. And then over on TikTok, I am the Overthink Queen _1.
Wonderful. I love what you do. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's similar to me. I
it
actually own
is.
a pole dance fitness brand
I love it.
in downtown Dallas. And my experience was somewhat similar to yours. Like, I just felt like as a woman, I wasn't very confident. And it wasn't really due to my size. It was more so due to being a black woman in America. I'm just being honest. You know, you're
Okay.
not my standard. What I looked like was not necessarily the standard of beauty, right? So I tried a pole dance class for my birthday one time and I really enjoyed it. I love the way it made me feel. I felt very awkward at first. But I love the way it made me feel, and I continue to take classes. And the way that I transformed as a person, I became healthier, of course, more fit physically, mentally, and emotionally. My confidence went up. I felt softer. I felt more feminine. I felt more in tune with my sensuality and my sexuality, and all those different types of things. So I was like, wow, the transformation that pole dance can bring. I want other women to feel this too. Like, this is amazing. So that's another reason why I started my brand. And so I focus a lot on confidence too.
Yes,
Confidence,
I love
empowerment, sensuality, more in tune with mind and body. Um, you know, Rejecting like those norms of what you're supposed to do as a woman. You can't be too sexy, you can't be too pretty, you can't be too confident, you can't be too confident in the bedroom either. It's all about him. Be quiet. And we don't do none of that in my studio. We are
it.
loud, taking up space. Move them hips how you want to move them hips, or that ass how you want to throw it. And don't feel bad about it, and part of it is it's called House of Embodiment / Hoasis. So the HOE is the abbreviation for House of Embodiment. And it's like an oasis of women in a world that tells you can't be all these different things and pressures you into all these different things as women. You can come in here and this is your oasis to be a hoe or whatever you want to be when you come in here.
I
You're
love it.
liberated. You're liberated.
You're liberated. Yes.
You're liberated. And I think, because you know what, Nisha, I was thinking the same thing when she said it. I was like, really, basically, it is kind of parallel what you guys are doing, because it is liberating to other women to, to be embody who they are, to feel good about who they are, regardless, and to feel, like you said, a safe place, just have a safe place where they can feel like, oh, I might want to try that on, when basis if they were somewhere else, they'd be like, oh, I don't want to try that on. Or if they're in the pole dancing class, let me see if I can twirl around here, and drop it to the floor one good time.
Yeah.
Even if it's in slow motion, it's the feeling good and confident in everything you do. That's right.
Mhm.
The confidence that it brings
And I
both
love
ways,
it.
because it is. And then to what Crystal said, that she didn't know if everybody else. I think all women go through it. I think it's probably a small percentage that don't feel at a time uncomfortable in their own body, right?
Mhm.
In their own skin. Like, man, like Nisha said, we're always being sold something. I may not fit up to this one. I may not fit up to this. I may not be good enough for this. Or I may not be worthy. I may not be pretty as what
Mhm.
such and such is. We just all get, by media, we get sold so many ideas in our head that we get stuck with it, and it just internalizes. Like, man, here we are. I feel horrible because I don't think I fit the bar.
Yeah.
When both of you ladies are saying, hey, I got a spot, I got a space for you to feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
You belong.
Yeah.
You belong. And you're deserving. And that's one thing. Because I personally come from a plus size family. I'm the only, maybe two of us in my family of women that are smaller or petite. And from like the way I see my family members get treated when we're out versus me is alarming. Like, people are not always nice to people who they see as plus size, but they're always so nice and sweet to me. And I will call them out, like, Why are you disrespecting her but being nice to me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even like going in the stores with my family members or like my cousin or whatever, and we're trying to shop, but she can't find any clothes, and here I am, and I feel guilty sometimes. Like, well, every store we go into has my size, but she's just sitting here looking at me shop. Like, that's not fair. And I want to shop with
Yeah.
my cousin.
Yep.
Like,
Right.
but
Well, now
it's
you got a place. She has created.
like
She has created a location.
Bryant. Like, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't. And
Right.
what you were saying before, my mom is also a plus size woman. So going shopping with her when I was a kid, I did notice that the clothes for women who were in a plus size was not very flattering, and everything had flowers on it.
Yep. Looks like a grandma's outfit.
Right.
Yes,
You
and
know
like a
what I
turtleneck, and like it doesn't show anything, and it's just like
Yep.
that's not fair, and it sends messages to women, like
Yep.
not deserving, you're not flattering, you're not cute. Be thankful you got what you get,
Yep.
Right.
and
Right.
that's
Right.
not fair. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to bring to you guys too. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but I saw some information that was a study that discussed how fat phobia in women is related to racism. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And it went back to like slavery type days and before, how when, black women are typically curvier per se and heavier or whatever, and that's what was observed at the time. So they kind of connected that to racism, like the mammy image, the big black lady, that took care of the kids or was the housemaid or whatever, and they kind of connected the two, and I thought that was very, very interesting. So I don't know if you ladies have heard about that. I
Okay.
welcome and invite you to do some research on that. But once I read up on it, it blew my mind and it made so much sense.
But
So
it would make sense because a lot of people say, because I'm a curvy girl too, and I always hear, you got baby burn hips.
mhm,
You'll make the perfect this and this, but it's always something domestic,
mhm.
right?
Makes
It's
sense.
not it's not anything. It's always a domestic situation. Like, I know you can cook real good. You got the perfect hips to make babies. So saying that, and that comes from inside the culture, so I can understand how that could be like, oh, that's what that is, and we don't want that. But
Mhm.
the truth is, none of us will ever be a size 2 or 0 and really be that that healthy. You know what I'm saying? Especially as we get older,
Mhm.
that's just not that's not really what we're not going to look like the runway models.
You
But
know,
it
though,
is. Go ahead.
recently I learned from somebody as well who is probably about a size 2 or 5. No matter what size you are, you still have parts of your body that you're not confident with,
Yes.
or or certain things that you still look at yourself and you don't feel 100% confident. So
Mhm.
I thought that was really important too, because my goal is being plus size. Yes, I want everybody who's plus size to be confident, but I want everybody who's any size to be confident as well.
I'm glad you said that, Crystal, because I actually was thinking that when Roberta was talking, because me being younger, I was always small, and again, my whole family was, plus size women. My friends were plus size, and I always felt like I didn't belong. Like, it was a lot of parts of my body that I didn't like. I felt like I was too skinny. I looked sick, or people would be like, "Are you anorexic?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm just naturally really skinny." Now, of course, as I got older and I hit puberty, I started to fill out some. But definitely, even now, I just feel like sometimes I feel like I'm too small. I would like maybe 5 to 10 more pounds on my body. And then you have women, who are bigger than me and have the 5 to 10 pounds. And they're like, nah, I wish I could leave 5 to 10 pounds.
Exactly.
Right. Because when I first seen those BBLs, I was like, is these women that went crazy or what?
Yeah,
Because,
some of them, wow.
this butt is heavy. You know, this is a
Like,
heavy butt. All right, Miss Crystal, we'd like to appreciate you again. We are certainly going to ask for you to come back. You
Yes,
see how we get down on Taboo Chronicles? We talk about things that
I
everybody
love
else
it.
is just not comfortable talking about, but we will talk about it. And
Yes.
so you are always welcome to join us again. We really appreciate your time. We loved having you, and we love the woman, the sisterhood you shared with us tonight. And
Thank
so now you
you.
are a sister of ours at Taboo Chronicles.
Thank you
Tell
so
Love
much.
everyone one
you.
more time. Where can we
And
find you?
good night. Yes, ma'am.
Where can we find you again, Crystal, before you leave?
So www.theclubhs.com
Okay.
and overthink queen_1 on TikTok.
Wonderful. Thank you
Thank you
so much,
guys so much
Crystal.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
I like Crystal.
Yeah, yeah, she
I
is.
love
She's a hoot.
And I'm a girl's girl. I love supporting other women. I don't feed into this whole thing where society tries to pin us against each other and make competition. I don't deal with that. So I just love what she's doing for other women. I really do. And I know she's out here changing lives.
I love that. And you know what I've learned from you, um, because I'm always learning from everybody. So what I learned from you is to be open when I'm listening to people. So I've
Hmm.
learned that from you, and I really appreciate that. And Crystal as well. I did enjoy Crystal. She is funny. She's a funny girl.
Thank you, Roberta. I feel so special.
And then I have one of my best friends, childhood friends. She says she's enjoying the show tonight. This is probably the first
Nice.
time she ever checked out, but appreciate you, sis, too. Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Did you got another topic,
Okay.
Roberta? What
Well,
else?
I did. I want this to get down and kind of look grimy tonight
What do you
because
say? If we didn't?
we had our sisterhood circle and it was fun. And we hope that we empowered some ladies too to feel good in your skin. Right. Now, let's get into this P. Diddy stuff. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, so inform me because I've been seeing people talking about it all over social media, but I have no clue what's going on. What is happening?
Well, honey, they said he has went on live and he said, please help me. Now, I didn't see this please help me video. He said that they are trying to take him to jail for all of these things that they have accused him of. Now, we do know that he has paid he's paid some lawsuits. I said that way.
The feds watching. Period.
Yeah. So, yeah. So now they're saying that he was also involving children in some of his stuff. And so, yeah, yes, the saga is
I'm starting to see
getting,
that all these celebrities like kids, they all pedophiles, and that is just sickening. That is so sick.
yes, it really is. It is. So it's been a hot topic. It's been a topic that people have been talking about, and I'm like you. I really uh someone said Lord first, R. Kelly, and now and then Diddy and Nickelodeon, because
Ooh,
Nickelodeon did do also they have a live show that they did a documentary about Nickelodeon.
did you watch it?
I did not. You know
It
what?
gets worse and worse and worse by the episode.
Yeah, I knew some young girls that modeled, and to be honest, they used to tell me little stuff about what is going on with them and what they had to go through. So I was kind of always intimidated by that lifestyle because it seems like the more a person gets, the more they don't think there's no moral boundaries there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like the more power, almost like you were saying with the abortions, the more power games they can start playing, because
The more,
now it's a control and power game. And
mm-hmm.
like with P Diddy, I believe it's a control and power. I don't think it, and I think that's why it's so many people coming out against him. I don't think I think he just had so much power. He kind of did like, what was the other guy that came up dead? Was it Weinstein?
Oh, did he?
Huh? Yeah, you remember he went to jail.
Harvey? Is it Harvey?
Yes, and they were going to prosecute him, and he came up.
Dead?
Yeah.
That's why I need to watch the news. That's
You
what
know
I
it's
watch the news.
but you know what? It stresses me out too. So I don't like to watch it. That's why I said it's just interesting to me that he's asking for help now. Uh,
Homeland Security hit Diddy Film Company. Oh, he done for.
yeah.
He's done for. So what are they saying he involved the kids with doing? Like what was he saying? What are they saying he's doing?
Well, he's taking them on trips. He's grooming them and
Hmm.
dating them, I guess you would say.
Where these kids come
Oh,
from?
huh?
Sex trafficking.
Right.
So is he
You
kid?
wanna,
Are the kids like kidnapped and then he just do whatever he want to do with them?
no, he ain't kidnapping them. No, he's getting them on the pretense they're going to him like R. Kelly, like, you're gonna help me with my career, like Usher, right? But he helping them with their career, but he helping them with some more stuff too.
So he's basically what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's a basic word.
Exploitation.
Yes, exploiting them. Yes, that's the
Yeah,
word I was looking for.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
pathetic. Well, good riddance, P. Diddy. Your music was good, I guess.
yeah.
That's
So
insane. I need to
I
read up.
just, yeah, I just thought it was interesting that he did do a plea for help. So I was like, what is, what
What
is
kind of help though? What did he want Live to do?
he? I guess he wants people to say he didn't do it, or somebody say he didn't do all of these things.
Girl, ain't nobody finna do all of that. Especially if he did it.
And he's taken down some pretty he's gotten some pretty powerful people that have went with him as well.
So does he have like a court date coming up? Sexual assault and sex trafficking. They took two of his sons to jail today. Damn. Oh yeah,
Wow.
he's next. That's why he asked for help. They already got his kids.
What?
He's next. You're done for.
Yeah.
Tomorrow by noon, you're out of there.
Wow.
And as a child, I used to ask my mom, like, Mom, I want to be on TV. I want to be on TV. I want to do this. Can you take me to these, little tryouts? And she'd be like, Girl, no. And I am so glad she said no.
Yeah.
Because that obviously the more things start to come out, the realer things get. And that's just obviously childhood celebrities did not have a good time.
Yeah.
Majority of them did not. And watching that Nickelodeon documentary was really eye-opening for me because as kids you're innocent, your mind is innocent, you don't really make those connections, but the
Yeah.
more they redid the scenes and like showed the scenes, and I remember the scenes as a kid, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a little disturbing as an adult. And one of the ladies was talking about like a cum shot joke on there, and then they talked about how Nose Boy had like noses on his shoulders, but they looked like penises with balls connected, and they did. A episode where Ariana Grande is in her room by herself, like on live video or something, and she's trying to squeeze juice out of a potato, and she's like, "Oh, give me the juice," and she's like making these moaning, grunting noises. Like it just was very disturbing. And then one of the last
Wow.
episodes talked about how I don't know if he was a producer or what he was, but he was raping Drake from Drake and Josh. He was getting
Wow.
sexually assaulted and raped for a while.
Wow.
And then his girlfriend's mom is the one who picked up on it because the guy called Drake's phone because he was supposed to be coming over, but his parents didn't drop him off. He ended up going to his girlfriend's house and was like blowing Drake's phone up, man, like, why aren't you over here? You need to be here, blah, 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 blah. And I think he might have been like 15 or 16 at the time. And the girlfriend's mom thought it was weird and knew something wasn't right and talked to Drake about it and called the police, and the guy went to jail. But he said
Wow.
it went on for a while. And that was just so heartbreaking, sitting there listening to him talk about that. Like, my stomach was turning.
Wow. And
So
what was that on what was that on
it's on Netflix. It's called Quiet on the Set. And
wow.
they talked about the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, the creator of like the all that show, the big dude, and how mean he was to the women, how he was like he didn't really like women. And he would ask them to give them him massages periodically, and he would talk about, like, he would watch porn in front of them when everybody's working, and make like little sexual jokes and stuff. And then there was another episode where they talked about Amanda Taint. I remember a
Mhm.
character called Amanda Tate, and the lady said when he was writing it all in the office where they were all working with the producers and the editors and everything, he said that the taint is the spot between the man's butt and his balls, and he thought it was so funny and named that character Amanda Taint. And when they
Wow.
said something to everybody, he denied it and was like, why would that be what that is? No, that's not what that is. And of course, the internet wasn't as much of a thing in the 90s as it
Right.
was. It's not like people could just pick up their phone and was like, well, let's see what that is. Update on Diddy, they found his jet in the Caribbean.
Oh,
Dropped
okay.
his
So
off.
he has fled he fled the country. Okay. Well, the Caribbeans, I'm pretty sure they'll be glad to hand him back. You know, they they'd be glad you go back over there because we do not want those problems over here.
Not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
That's sickening. I mean, it's like they're all getting exposed one by one, and that is the beauty of the internet. I
Yeah.
know the internet has its pros and cons, but that is a pro. Now people can just pick up their phones and record things and blast
Right.
messages everywhere and go live and do whatever. So it's getting harder and harder for people to get away with things.
It really is. You're going to be exposed,
Mhm.
and it's sad as a fact. Oh wow, someone had
Thanks.
look
What
now.
about?
Someone said, "I believe this is what I believe about Diddy. I believe that he is a predator. He is a controller, and just as you just explained with the Nickelodeon special, most people who are into that, they are controllers and they are predators, and they do like to coerce individuals into doing what they want them to do. So I believe that's probably what happened with that person you just asked about. And I'm really careful about saying, because he said, "Touch not my anointed, nor do him no harm." Now I am a woman of the word, so I do know that we all fall from grace. And but I really honestly can't say that I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't believe any of it. I know sometimes things are exaggerated and people say certain things and come out saying all these different things for fame or for money or whatever, but
Yeah,
mm, only time will tell.
yeah, yeah. And it
Only-
had to be something for this gentleman to say, "Y'all, please help me."
Mhm.
So for him to come out from everything else he usually do live, from the parties to, you know, showing out or showing off, or he had it's something for him to be crying out loud, "Help me."
And then people are, when it comes to the kids, people are always like, "Well, where are the parents?" And while I don't deny the fact that the parents did fail the kids, period. There's no questions asked about that. Like you were saying, I think it's important to remember that these are people who are powerful people who have a lot of money, who also know a lot of other powerful people who have a lot of money, who do coerce, who do manipulate, who do bribe, who do these different things. And I feel like they abuse their power and probably scared some of these parents into not saying anything. Their
Right.
parents probably felt helpless. Like, what do I do at this point? If I call the police, he's gonna come after me. What if he gets people to have me killed? I'm scrutinized, this, that, and the third. So I'm sure some of them just felt like they were stuck between a rock and a hard place and didn't know
Right.
what to, felt like they couldn't do anything.
Right. And things can end up, they can start off really, I think, harmless. So
Mm-hmm.
situations can start off harmless. It's almost like being a parent and you have this friend and say this friend has exploited your children or abused or molested your children. Well, that friend showed you everything that a friend would be, right? So you really didn't have it in mind that this person would do these other things, and I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that's how they get involved. And then after the fact comes, like you said, the guilt, the shame, possibly, you talk about people who are pretty influential. One of the rappers said he blew up his car. Right? I mean, so you
So
talk,
imagine what that's like when you're just a regular person, maybe somebody from like a low SCS community, because we know they target people who don't have much and put all this money in their face. And they know that's how you can manipulate people who are poor or who are uneducated, who are all these different things. And it's just so disheartening. It really is. It really is.
right, right. Now, before we go on, I wanted to go ahead and give the trafficking number, which is 188 373-7888. One of our people that were writing in said it is a federal offense. It is a federal offense. Trafficking is a federal offense. Prostitution is a federal offense.
Unless you're in Las Vegas.
Unless you're right, right, they got the exception. But I'm talking about people who are being held against their will.
Yeah.
Because I had did a class. You might have did that class here in Texas.
Which
Did you
class?
have to do that class?
She said Harry Hines. Lord have mercy. What
No,
class?
Harry Hines is doing what they want to. The feds trying to keep on trying to shut them down, but they independent salespeople. Well, some of them might be working up under organized crime, but it is a federal offense, and if you're being trafficked, that's a number you can call for help. It's really bad here in Texas, very bad. Um,
Especially since we're close to the border, with the state that's along
right.
the border, so they can just
Right.
send them
It's
off.
real. It's
Mm-hmm.
very real. And if that's your situation, or someone that's is a possibility, because I live in Dallas, and right in Plano, we had a house full of people who were being trafficked, who
No
were
way.
children and adults. Excuse me. Yes. So it's a real problem here. The
Give them the
number, I'm going to repeat the number again. It's 888-373-7888. So again, 888-38-373-7888.
my gosh.
So if you know anyone, even if you suspect it, call in. If you see a house full of children, if you see some of those white vans around here, uh, black women have came up abducted, and some of them have never been found. Children as well, and people. Period. But I know certainly our population has been coming up missing. So if you suspect that, even if it's, and I think the one that was close to us, they were different minorities, Hispanic, black, and white,
Mm,
and also maybe Asian, but it was a lot of them.
that is crazy. I know we touched on prostitution. Um,
Yeah,
I know it's a taboo topic,
it
but
is.
what are your thoughts on prostitution?
What are my thoughts on it? Well, now I'm gonna tell you. This is what I think. I think it's if I don't know how to say. I guess I'm gonna just say it the way I want to say it, huh?
Because I
Well,
am.
okay. This is what I think. If it's yours, you got control. Do what you want to with yours.
Hello, somebody.
right? And if that's your money maker, that's your money maker.
I agree.
Now, now if Leroy comes and Leroy got the best, he got this plan for your money maker, then that's when I have the problem.
Right.
Why? Because it's just any other business.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get a shortage of what you hold the market on? That makes
Mm-hmm.
no sense. It just don't. Like I say, I'm just gonna be. It's pretty taboo, but I'm just gonna be real. If you got to put it out there, if you put it out there for yourself, hey, I'll credit to you. I can't. That's your position.
Yeah.
Your profession, and it's one of the oldest professions known to man. So hey, I can't knock it. But if it's something that someone else is marketing and making money off of, and you getting nothing, a little bit to nothing for, then you might want to rethink the business plan because you are the business.
Yeah, I don't think it should be illegal. I don't. I feel like it's not hurting nobody. You're not stealing from nobody. Like you said, if you just doing it, you and Leroy come together and Leroy say, "Hey, I want some of that. I give you $500," and you say, "Okay, where you want to meet at?" And y'all do the. He give you the $500. What's the problem? I don't see a problem in that. Nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting stolen from. Nobody's being abused. Y'all are two consenting adults, long as you're adults, and y'all are in agreement and everything goes smooth. What's the problem? And how you gonna tell me what I can't do with my body?
Right.
Long as I'm not hurting nobody. It's a business transaction. Okay.
Well, I wasn't trying to put everybody in business,
Business transaction. We do
but the
more for
thing
we
is,
do less for free for people who don't deserve it. Why not make a little money off of it?
and no, and you know what? As a woman, know your worth. Know your worth. I'll say it that way.
I agree.
Because what I'm talking about is people exploiting people, like really actually holding them, kidnapping them,
Mm-hmm.
and really manipulating their life, making them do things, and actually, yeah, detaching them from where they at, all of that. People are doing that. So if that's the case, then of course you're in a you're in a situation where you can't get loose. You do need help. But if you say, hey, you know what, this is how I pay my bills. This is my business. That's really your business. I can't knock your business. Like I said, I just never can get how you can involve other people in what you already own. I just don't get that part.
I don't either. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to do some deeper research to figure out why is it illegal. Like I don't of all things that could be illegal. Why is that illegal? If it's just a business transaction, not necessarily like you said the exploitation and all that. But if it's two consenting adults and we agree, why is that illegal?
I don't know. I think we it's like selling drugs.
I don't
Well,
think it's like selling drugs because drugs kill people. Sex don't. Like people have sex and they go on about their business. You know what I'm saying? Like drugs
well,
are harmful. I mean, there's
drugs are
risks to
harmful.
having sex, of course, but there's risks to driving a car. There's risks to talking on this computer. There's risks to cooking.
But you know what, Nisha? I think that, because our country is one of the countries that have such harsh ideals of basic things like that, right? Sex, prostitution, marijuana, even other types of substances. Okay. But I think that we if they took it, if they stopped saying it's so bad, I think it wouldn't be taboo anymore. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
that's not.
then it wouldn't have an attraction.
Yeah, because they
I
make it
think
seem like sex is bad. But you know what? It's probably because the government can't really track it. Let's be real. That's why they don't want you to
right,
do it.
right. They can't track it. But what I'm saying is, I think if you stop saying something is bad, like if you're a kid and your parents say, "Hey, you can't have this," what in your mind, what you want?
You want it because you want to know why. What's so great about this that I can't have it?
Right, right.
What's going on?
So with prostitution, with marijuana, it used to be with alcohol. it only leads people to wanting it more. At least I think this is people, period. This is how our mind works. If you say no, you can't have this, you can't have that, guess what? Yes, I can. And I think the tabooism on it leads to people using and abusing it, and wanting it, using and abusing. I think
Yeah,
if
because
we
like
didn't have the
for me, it's like, okay, sex to me, again, like I said earlier, it's just like a human right. Like people are gonna always have sex. Like that's how people are created. Like sex is
yeah,
just a normal thing. Like it's human. You have the natural desire to have sex, right?
right,
So but like with drugs and stuff, that ain't, I
yeah.
mean, so I just feel like, hey, I'm gonna have sex anyway. Everybody have sex. It ain't legal to have sex. If I want to sell a little something, something,
If I wanted to get off a little bit,
and,
get a
and
little bit
for
off
him,
the
if he wanna break me off a little something, something, why he can't break me off? I mean, because realistically, I mean, come on.
Why
But
is that
I would rather, honestly, I would rather a man say, hey, I don't even like you like that. I like your body. You look good. Let me just pay you to have sex. I would rather a man be that brutally honest with me than to pretend he liked me, get my emotions involved, have me fall in love with him, take me on dates, call my phone, text me, have me blushing every day, just till I decide that I want to have sex with him and then he gone. I'd rather, I'd rather you just be like, hey, I just want to buy it. I'm either gonna say yes or no, like, and then you can get out my face. That's it.
You what you say? I can figure out if the exchange is worth it or not.
Yes.
Okay, and I agree. I agree that it's nothing that you should be. We should have to. I think like it's like an abortion. It should be based upon if that's what you want to do. I think it just has been made
Because nobody
taboo.
is being hurt.
Yeah, and again, it's one of the oldest professions known to man. So that ain't new. It ain't no new one. It's an
Still a
old
bit, still a
profession.
bit. Girl, he's still a little bit. Period.
Now, I did like this, Nisha. You said women should be able to be liberated in the bedroom. I did like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And pole dancing gave me that confidence to allow myself to not necessarily speak up about my desires, but to be louder about them and to be
Yeah,
more confident in them and to be more proud of them and to be
yeah,
more confident when I'm doing what I want to do in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Because at
right,
this point, I know what it feels like. I'm more confident in my body. I've learned my body more. I've put in time and effort into this. I've made a deeper connection, and I feel like women should have more, because like I said before, I don't know if I said it here, but I say it all the time, sex is looked at as something that's done to women and not with women, right? It's always,
oh, I like to say that again, girl.
sex is viewed as something that's done to women and not with women, and that is something
Right.
I do not support. No, I don't sell poles. I want to one day. I'm working towards it. um but I do have them for rent, like stage poles, portable poles, if anybody's interested. But yeah, so just that outlook of sex alone kind of just feeds into how women are just kind of taught and just kind of go in the bedroom, do whatever he wants to do, be comfortable with what you get. He can finish, you finish, yeah. It's your responsibility if you want to finish or not. Like it's just more so him using your body and you submitting to him. And I don't think that's fair at all. I don't think that's how it should be. And I do agree that sex is a very sacred thing. And I feel like it's very important, especially with the woman whose womb is the one that is at the highest risk of being altered with pregnancy and all that, that you probably
Hmm.
should have the most, in my opinion. If anybody should have the most, it should be me. Because you can walk
Yes.
away and never have to see me or this baby again. I'm stuck. And at these day and age, I can't even get an abortion.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at with it.
Yes. Now, I
Um,
like that. I like that. I haven't thought about that, but I have thought about it the other way. But I haven't thought maybe they just don't even think that you want something out of it. Like,
because to them it's something, it's them doing it, like they're doing it to you. And I see that all over the internet, this whole debate on the difference between men sleeping around and women sleeping around, because for some reason with women it's different. Well, is it really? Like,
Wow.
is it really a difference? Like, you still risk the same things that I risk. You could catch an STD. You're literally inserting a body part inside of somebody else's. Like, that's intense. Just as intense as me allowing somebody else to enter my body, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, and I saw a guy talk about how if everybody puts their hand on top of a cup, nothing happens. The water in the cup is not contaminated, but if everybody puts their hand in this cup, the water is contaminated.
Wow.
Fix it. That's not how that works, Bookie.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. Because you're inserting your body part into somebody else's. You have a hole, and juice, my juice, her juice, whoever juice, is going in and inside of your body. That's how it's passed.
Look, woo, look.
You think it's cool and okay for you to stick yours in me? Now I got juice from her and she got juice from me. I like my juice. Like, come on, bro. It's really
look. Let's get ready to close for the night. We're gonna come back with that Taboo Chronicle. Well, we're gonna
cool when
talk
they do
about
it. When I do it.
Who said that? But
and that's 2 times. I felt that in my spirit when you
oh my goodness. Well, that seems like that concludes our show.
Mm-hmm. It was a good one.
Loved you all joining us tonight. Join us every other Tuesday at 8. Nisha, you have something you want to share with our audience?
Oh, sure. Y'all follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, Taboo Chronicles Podcast. Send us an email. It's taboochronicles@gmail.com, right?
Right.
Yes. We love to hear feedback. We love to hear your opinions. Message us on any topics you guys are interested in. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like about us. We want to hear from you.
We do. We want to hear from you. We want to know. And we want to talk about what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And don't be afraid to comment. But we want to thank y'all for listening to us tonight. I hope everyone here who's listening, either just listening or watching or whatever, I hope something made you think. I hope you took something away from today's topics. And we'll see you next episode.
Feel good in your